guess Maya's accuracy needs some work.
Get me out of here!
Okay, hold on. Watch out for those!
It's pushing me forward!
Aloha everybody and welcome to part 4 of Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric. So we're in the next area and Tails is now trapped inside of a tube where a piece of smoldering hot metal is chasing him, and we have to destroy a whole bunch of computers. We have to pull a whole bunch of levers with the enter beam in order to get him out of this tube and rejoin up with him. In reality though, there is no strict time limit because if Tails gets hit by the piece of metal, he just goes, ow, maybe you should hurry up. Like, really, you could be super slow. You could be, like, really not great at this game. You could be like a little 5-year-old kid who's just playing this game, not understanding what they're supposed to do. And Tails will just keep taking abuse and taking abuse and taking abuse. So there's no real strict time limit. This isn't really a big tense moment where it's like, oh man, I gotta hurry up. I think Tails might get hit here, or maybe I was fast enough. No, I was fast enough. I didn't let him get hit. But I remember during my test playthrough, I couldn't pull the enter beam. I couldn't pull the door open, and I was wondering what the hell was going on. But I realized later that I didn't destroy the second computer console, and you're supposed to do that. Then you can pull the door off with the enter beam. So I would just see Tails keep getting pelted with that metal, the constant pieces of metal that would keep coming. Psh, ah! Psh, ah! Come on, Sonic! So that was pretty darn funny. I should mention about Rise of Lyric that this game technically does have co-op, and this game does have a multiplayer aspect to it. There's also like little multiplayer games that you could play outside of the story mode, so this game does have multiplayer. But when it comes to the co-op, when it comes to like going through these levels, platforming, collecting the crowns, etc., I will definitely say Rise of Lyric is a pretty big dumpster fire when it comes to that. I would not recommend playing this game in co-op because if you think the frame rate is bad, if you think the pop-in is bad, if you think the textures and how they load in is bad now, it is nothing, and I mean nothing, compared to if you play this game in co-op, because everything just gets significantly worse. I mean it. It's really, really not optimized.
Maya, it's great to see you.
Life form not recognized.
You sent us here from 1,000 years in the future.
Processing. 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 Whoa, cool.
Future you said that past you,
Which is actually current you.
would show us the location of the map here in the past so that we can use it to stop Lyric in the future.
Processing. That makes sense.
Really?
Lyric is building an army of robots to destroy all organic life forms. There is only one weapon powerful enough to stop him. I require you to clear the path to it. Complete this task, and I will get you to the map room.
So we're in the far distant past where everything's all technologically advanced and Lyric is out and about doing his thing, and you just got more robots to beat up on, because why not? But, you know how, like, constantly when you're walking around in single player, like, all the 3 characters are gonna constantly, like, respawn right behind you and stuff? Like, you'll just be walking and then, poof, they just pop into existence right behind you? That happens in multiplayer. You could be playing with your friend, and then all of a sudden you'll just jump to wherever your friend is out of nowhere, and it's, like, really jarring, and you're like, whoa, what the hell happened? I was trying to make progress. It's not a great co-op, guys. It's really not great co-op.
Hey, it's the turtle guy. Hey, are you about to plant your crops?
Why, yes. I have these boysenberries right here.
Are you sure they don't say poison?
Why, you are right. It does say poison. Ooh, I would have made a huge mistake. Thank you so much for fixing this. Oh, my. That would have been deadly. How on earth did you know?
Let's just say an interested party wanted us to look out for you.
Well, if you see him, tell him he is a lifesaver.
So, if you remember, in part 2, before we went on to the next level, we ran into a turtle who asked us to try and fix his crop situation. If only time travel was possible! Well, we are in the distant past, and by running into him now, we can actually open up a future level and get rid of all the viney thorns that would impede our progress from collecting all the crowns and stuff. This guy is really easy to miss. In fact, in my first playthrough, I just hopped on the conveyor belt and I just kept going from conveyor belt to conveyor belt to get to this computer room. And I completely missed out on this guy, and then I got to the one level where the vines are, and yeah. And it wasn't until later when I discovered how to solve that side quest that I came back to the level with the vines, and I discovered that, like, oh my god, wait a minute, it's completely different. Is it because I saved the turtle's vines? Like, I went back in time and I found them? Oh, that's kind of interesting. Kind of an interesting side quest, interesting thing, you know? Interesting? Interesting? But it's the only time a side quest really does anything like that, like actually changes future levels like that. But it's easy to miss that guy. And honestly, it would actually make the game go by quicker if you skip him, because when the vines are there, you only really need to get into 2 fights with that particular level, and then you just move on to the exit. So I'll be showing that off later, because I actually did my test playthrough recording everything. Not recording everything, but I did my test playthrough going through everything, but I skipped out on the turtle guy so that I could record the section with the vines, so that I could show that off later. So you'll see what's up with that. You'll see what's up with that.
It worked. The force field's down.
Either way, now we're inside this computer room. They've introduced a new enemy type, these little ball orb guys who turn really blue, and then they charge towards you. And when they're blue, you can't punch them, you can't throw bombs at them, you can't homing attack them. But there is one thing you can do which a lot of players always miss out on, a lot of players don't realize can happen. But when they turn blue, if you ground pound on them, you will get rid of their blue invulnerability state, and they will, like, calm down, and then you can beat them up on them like everything's back to normal, you know? So, you'll notice when I found the turtle guy, I got a glyph that allows my ground pound to have extra radius, and I gave that to Sonic specifically. Like, Tails is still using the Big Bang glyph that allows enemies to explode a lot better and to cause bigger explosions, but with Sonic, I gave him the big bounce attack so that his radius is huge, so that when I'm actually fighting these orb guys, he can just create this wave and be slightly close to the orb guys and still, like, negate their blue invulnerability period just from a little bit of a distance. So you don't have to be exact with it. And I'm going to keep Sonic with that particular glyph for the rest of the game so that I can always handle these orb guys just fine. You can still lift the orb guys with the enter beam. They're just like the regular grunts. You just gotta, like, build up a little bit. Like, when you throw the enter beam on things, if it's a spinner, it's instantaneous. If it's a snake, it's instantaneous. If it's an orb guy, grunt guy, any of the bigger guys, you just have to wait until the character, like, pulls him, then he starts throwing him around like he's a lasso or whatever. But, when you know that ground pounding takes away their invulnerability state, then the orb guys are a lot easier to deal with, let's just say.
Look at those lights over there. It's like the holidays.
Anyway, we're doing a lot of these puzzles. A lot of lasers that I need to jump over, otherwise they damage me. Again, rings are your health bar. You're allowed to carry 100, and if you lose all your rings and then you take damage, you die. But the thing about Rise of Lyric is that when you die, you just respawn exactly where you were, and all the progress you made has still been made. You don't lose any of your progress, so it's not really that big of a deal. The lasers could kill me, but it's not like I'll have to redo the puzzle or refight the enemies, so whatever. If I die, I die. There's no live system. I could just try it over and over and over again, and this game just kind of plays itself, you know? It's not much.
Bounce pad!
Yes, Tails, bounce pad. Yes, Tails, I know, bounce pad. This is also something I noticed about this level in particular that I completely forgot about Rise of Lyric. A lot of the camera angles really, really suck. Like, you'll notice I enter, and it's facing the doorway, and not the enemies that just spawned in with that cutscene. So I had to go all the way to the bottom of this room just so I could get a better angle of everything on screen, because sometimes they have fixed camera angles where you can't really rotate the camera. A lot of the times you can rotate the camera, but other times you get into these situations where, like, it's always aiming one specific way, and you just sort of have to position your character in a certain part of the room just so you can get a good glance at everything that's going on. So the camera is not always great in Rise of Lyric. Sometimes it really doesn't help, especially when you got guys who are shooting energy beams and grenades and bombs at you, and then you're constantly taking damage, and you're just like, what the hell's going on? I gotta see this guy. But, you know.
The ancients will rue the day they dared to hide my crystals from me. Now that I've found their map, those crystals will be mine once again. And then I will annihilate them and everything they hold dear.
Just spitballing here, boss, but can we just let him off with a warning this time?
Did they warn me that working to unlock the power of the crystals would make me sick? Did they warn me that their feeble organic medicines would never be able to heal me? No, they didn't. I had to make this to keep myself alive. Technology is the only thing you can trust, which is why I'm going to rid this world of all organic life forms and rebuild it piece by robotic piece.
Somebody needs a hug.
More like a beatdown. Let's do this.
What a sensible reaction from Lyric. Okay, so he got some kind of weird poisoning, some weird disabilities from the crystals he was experimenting with. And then he decided that because the ancients didn't warn him about that, he's going to destroy all organic life. Only robots are good. Every living being needs to die. That's Lyric's entire motivation for this game. I should mention that, like, Lyric is not a character in the TV show at all. He's never shown up in Season 1. He's never showed up in Season 2. Lyric is only in Rise of Lyric. He's also in Sonic Boom Shattered Crystal, the game I will be doing a Let's Play of after this one that's on the 3DS. And the Shattered Crystal game kind of takes a completely different origin for Lyric, sort of. How he gets frozen and then wakes up in the present is completely different from how it is in Rise of Lyric, which is, like, really baffling and bass-ackwards. We're gonna see, especially when we get to, like, the village and start meeting, like, the actual characters from the show and stuff. But, like, it's weird how, like, this is supposed to be the launching point of the Sonic Boom franchise, right? And, like, it just continuously confuses me on, like, what the lore is supposed to be. It continuously confuses me on how things are supposed to work.
Bounce pad!
Yes, Sonic, bounce pad. I know. You've only hit like 1,000,000 of these things by now. It's a bounce pad. It's a bounce pad. I know, Sonic. Jesus Christ, I know. But Lyric has a different origin in Shattered Crystal than he does in Rise of Lyric. These games are supposed to both be canon in regard to the TV show, even though these games are a completely different tone from the TV show. And it's just like, what? It feels like there should have been probably better planning or whatever in build up to this TV show, but I don't know. I don't work for Sega. I don't work for the company that does the TV show, or Big Red Button, or Sanzaru Games, who did the Shattered Crystal game. I don't know. You'll see why Lyric has a completely different origin in Shattered Crystal, because, like, the characters don't even recognize him in Shattered Crystal, which is, like, ridiculous. So, which of these games is canon? None of them. Let's go with none of them, but I'm still gonna play them anyway. Because why not? But yeah, this level, like so many of the other levels in the game, goes on for like 25, 30 minutes. If you're fast. If you're a slow child who's not really great at video games, it'll probably take you 40 to 50 minutes. Because, you know, I don't know how my nephews would handle this stuff. I've never seen my nephews single-handedly beat Rise of Lyric on their own without my help. I've never played this game with my nephews, but... I don't know how little kids handle Sonic Boom. I just know a lot of kids actually were posting about it on Miiverse quite a bit before the Miiverse servers went down for the Wii U. I wish I recorded a little bit of that. I really do. I wish I recorded a whole bunch of Miiverse posts before the servers went down, because you would have seen, like, a lot of little kids still enjoyed Rise of Lyric, and they were still, like, making cute little posts about the cutscenes, and, oh, look how cool Sonic is! Look how cool Tails and Amy are! Ah!
Tougher they are, harder they fall. Yeah!
Okay, so now we got the big, beefy guy. And as you can see, he has very short reach, and as Tails, I could just keep throwing bombs on him, and every time he glows blue and tries to hit me, I just dodge roll out of the way. And, oh, that was easy. That was easy. Yes, sirree, Bob. Tails is probably the best in combat, I would say. Just the ability to throw bomb, dodge. Throw bomb, dodge. And he can also send out his buddy bot, so like when you push the top button, he just sends out this little mini robot that like beats up people for you and blows them up for you. And it's actually really quick and easy to throw buddy bot. Like you just push the button and like Tails drops one in like a second. So like it's not even a big time sink. It's not like you're leaving yourself open to get attacked by a lot of things. Now you can drop buddy bot pretty quickly, so Tails is pretty damn awesome in combat because, you know, throw bomb. It's just as strong as any of the other characters' punches, except for like maybe Knuckles, I suppose. But yeah, I usually rely on Tails if I just want to brute force the game and just get through it really, really quickly. Plus, he could hover when he, like, jumps off of ledges and stuff. So Tails is pretty good. Tails is pretty good in Sonic Boom, let me tell ya.
Sonic, get to the zip wire!
I'm on the zip wire. Your voiceover's late.
Sonic, engage!
But yeah, so much combat, not much more to elaborate on. You know what would make this game really, really great, though? You know what would make this game so much better? Wouldn't it be so much better if, like, you had to go back to the abandoned research facility, and you had to go back to the past with this level that I'm in right now, and you had to go back to Lyric's ruins at the beginning of the game, because you have to beat him, like, 2 more times with other characters? Wouldn't it be so great to just keep repeating levels over and over again? Because that wouldn't get boring at all. That would be hilarious. That would be so funny to play a level 4 times with many different characters. In fact, I should go back to Lyric's Ruins and just beat it only with Tails. Drop Sonic, drop Knuckles, drop Amy. Let's just have Tails go through the opening level all over again for no reason, even though it adds nothing to the plot. That would be so funny. That would be hilarious. That'd be such a good game. So much better than what Rise of Lyric is right now. Yes, it would. It would be hilarious, is all I'm saying. But yeah, I'm still collecting every crown. I should talk about the crowns. I should talk about what they do, specifically. Actually, before that, this part before the patch was really, really glitchy. In my test playthrough for this, and in the LP itself, I never got it to happen what always happened to me when I first played this game. Because when I first played Rise of Lyric at launch in 2014, that little hallway where you have to get to the buddy bot system and throw the buddy bot in and then he opens the door, but like the 2D didn't work. Like, the 2D glitched out, and, like, Tails would, like, walk off the edge, and then I fell to a lower platform. But the thing is, I would fall to a lower platform and not die. I would land exactly where I need to go, but, like, Sonic would still be stuck behind the wall. Like, Sonic would still be stuck up there. So, Tails could do a whole bunch of things, but then when I had to go forward, I couldn't leave without Sonic, and I remember that being just like kind of baffling, like, oh, what the hell happened? Like, what the hell? Oh, why did I fall down here instead of going on the 2D track? And I had to kill myself with lasers just to try and reunite with Sonic because I couldn't go back the way I came to. I couldn't use the Buddy Bot system backwards. I couldn't put it into the right console to blow up something on the left or whatever, you know? I couldn't get back to where I was, and I remember telling Brain Scratch that when I was in their playthrough of the game, because I joined their commentary for it. And once upon a time, I used to do vlog reviews, and I also showed footage of it during my vlog review. But that video doesn't exist anymore. I don't do vlog reviews anymore. In fact, Rise of Lyric was the last game I ever did a vlog review for. And I got some quite interesting comments. Quite interesting indeed. This speed section is nauseating. This speed section is really bad. It just moves too fast. You're constantly reacting to stuff like you can't see coming really quickly. Like lasers, boom, just lasers start coming at you immediately. They fire so quickly that you're probably going to take damage unless you've done a test playthrough before this, but... or miss out on like the zip wires and stuff, and ugh. It's just really nauseating. Some of these speed sections just move way too quickly. And it's like, why are the speed sections in the game? Well, it's Sonic the Hedgehog. We gotta have him go fast. Because if Sonic doesn't go fast, then it's not Sonic. Well, then don't make an adventure platformer that's slow-paced and filled with puzzles. If you're gonna do a Sonic the Hedgehog game, you know? If you want him to go fast, then, I don't know, make him fast, but... honestly, I think they should have just cut the speed sections. I think they should have just scrapped him completely. Even though, yes, in the show, Sonic is super fast. He goes super fast in the TV show. He's still Sonic the Hedgehog, after all. I got a weird feather ability, and I can't hit the spinners with it, so that was useless, but... Also, pay attention to this fight, because Tails gets a triple S rank. I managed to get a triple S rank, and, I think it only gets you more scrap metal or more rings when you destroy enemies with a higher rank. Or at least it does with a glyph. That I remember. But once you get 50 hits, come on, Tails. Triple S! Yeah, I'm an expert player, bitches. The combo system means nothing. It means nothing. Don't take it so seriously. But, oh god, what was I talking about? Shit. I drifted off so quickly, I'm sorry. Cutscene anyway.
Activating gratitude. Thank you. You have saved my world.
And now we have to save ours. Get us to that map room.
How will we know when she's ready?
I'm ready.
She's ready.
Follow this to the map room.
You okay?
Surprisingly, yes. You think I'd be winded and tired, but I'm holding up pretty well. You?
A little singed from the furnace thing and a few lasers, but all in all, pretty good. You think Knuckles made it through there alive?
Knuckles? No way. He wouldn't make it. The lasers would have gotten him. If complaining was an attack, he'd be a superstar. Did Eggman look a little thinner to you?
I wasn't really paying attention. Do you think so?
I do. I wonder if it's diet or workout.
I would say stress. He is always so wound up.
Stress. Good call.
I'm so glad we could have an elevator chat. I couldn't move at all, so... But, yeah, what I was talking about was the speed sections, and I was just talking about how, like, it feels like these are in the game just because we're playing as Sonic the Hedgehog, but honestly, they're the least polished thing about the gameplay. They just feel like they're there because, well, it's Sonic, we gotta have him go fast, and sometimes the speed sections are just completely... different from, like, the rest of the level. They just feel like their own set pieces that, like, I don't know, maybe they were added in late just to make it feel like Sonic. I'm not sure.
Tails, it's an elevator. Nothing will go wrong with it.
saying?
We take the stairs from now on.
That's another gag. Once you hit the switch, you have to wait for Sonic and Tails to talk about elevators and how, oh, it'll be fine. And then you see the robots come crashing in so that you can hit all these springs and stuff. But, yeah. Anyway, we're coming close to the end of this thing. We're coming close to lyrics, so I'll probably talk about the crowns and what they do in regards to your abilities and how you use them as currency in the next video. But yeah, we're getting close to the end of this level. We're meeting up with Lyric and a time paradox kind of thing that I really hate.
What's happening?
Sir, it appears one of the Maya units has gone rogue and taken control of the Sentinel.
What? How?
Lyric,
Who are you?
you and I have unfinished business. See you in 1,000 years.
Time travel. In case you'd missed what just happened, at the beginning of the game, the heroes found Lyric's ruin, and on the doorway to his ruin was Sonic and Tails, and everyone was like, why are you on the door? I don't know. And then when you run into Lyric, he's like, you and I have unfinished business. And he implies that Sonic locked him up in the first place. So, by going back in time, Sonic just completely recreates what Lyric said happened, and it's one of those weird bass-backwards time travel things where, like, there should be a cause and effect, right? Like, at the beginning of the game, that shouldn't even be happening because Sonic hasn't gone back in time to stop Lyric yet. The only reason he would go back in time is to stop Lyric. Otherwise, he'd have no reason to tell Maya that he needs to stop Lyric, and, you know. There has to be a starting point, you know what I mean? There has to be a starting point, and I hate when time travel does shit like this. It's stupid. I hate it. Another Sonic game did this, and it was also dumb when it happened there.
I would never have believed I would be resurrected through your shade.
Who are you? And how do you know my name?
Anywho, folks, I guess I'll see you again in part 5. Till then.